Welcome to Moxie Monday, guys. So pumped that you guys are here. Love the flexibility that our team has and the culture that we have just to roll with it because our team is full of very chill women. And I'm just telling you right now that sometimes you just have to go with it because typically we host our team calls through YouTube. Today, YouTube wasn't my friend. And I'm like, well, let's troubleshoot. So welcome to our Zoom, which makes it a little more personal, which makes me able to see your pretty shining faces, and you can see mine. But the fourth Monday of every single month, we invite a top coach to join us. And guys, when I say top coach, y'all, it's some serious stuff. We have Ruth on the call tonight. He's going to be talking to us about inviting. Who here thinks that they have room to grow in the field of inviting people to join you? Raise your hand if you think that you can grow in that area. Okay, you see both of my hands up? Both of my hands and my stinky feet. Like, I'm ready to learn. This weekend I was a sponge. I want you guys to constantly be a sponge. Nobody ever is at a point in their business where they don't have the opportunity to learn more, or they can't tweak more. It doesn't mean that you have to always reinvent the wheel. It doesn't mean that you've been doing everything wrong. It just means that you are ready to grow and to be better. You guys know our Moxie Elite Pledge. Okay, I've been preaching about it for the past couple of weeks. Sometimes when I just talk about it on our team page, it goes one ear out the other. But the Moxie Elite Pledge is something where everyone on Moxie is welcome to say, hey, I am committed to being my best and bringing my best for the last 10 weeks of the year. And I gave you guys examples of what that could look like, and you made the commitment. So you sign that pledge if you're willing to be your best. And so Ruth tonight is going to help us be our best and sharpen our skills in using the power of words. So I want to pump up her credibility because I want you guys to know how important it is for you guys to take notes and take it seriously. Ruth started as a coach back in 2014. She is currently a 9-star diamond in her first business center and a 2-star diamond in her second business center. She was a 2015 elite coach. She ended last year at number 20 in the entire company. She is a Success Club 10 All-Star. And also, she helps her husband get Success Club every month, and her, is it your mom? No, your husband. No, it says you said your husband.
Just him.
Your husband, and then you still average 35 Success Club points a month. So you're helping a whole heck of a lot of people. Like, whatever you're doing, you're connecting with people, and somehow with your words, you're able to still pull in like 17 new customers a month to connect with them. And I love that, our coaches. I think that's incredible as far as you know, developing that reputation of you are somebody who we can learn from. She averages about 10 coaches each month, you know, bringing them on board and getting them started right. She was a 6-figure earner within her first full calendar year as a coach, and currently she's number 24 in the entire company. Yo, isn't that amazing? So listen up, open your ears, take some notes, and make sure after this call or even during the call, you guys chat in the chat box, be active, make sure you give her shout outs on her page because we want to make sure that we are very grateful, all right? Because we love fast, right? So Ruth, without further ado, if I did make you feel so crazy uncomfortable, I want to pass the reins over to you because we are ready. We are so ready.
Awesome. Well, I am very, very excited to be here. Thank you so much for that introduction. And thank you for having me. So yeah, I'm going to back up just a little bit. I do want to talk to you about how I invite and how I handle those conversations and truly the power of our words. It might be in a bit of a different way that you guys haven't maybe connected the dots before. Am I echoing? I don't. Okay. Is anyone else? I saw. Okay. But I kind of want to back up just a little bit and tell you a little bit about who I am and, you know, where I'm from. But I'm going to start off and kind of tell you about how my day has been. So I think that you guys, we all see these top coaches, whether it be, you know, Melanie Mitro or Bonnie Engel or even like Chalene Johnson. We look at these people who have a lot of success and we imagine that their life is perfect. We imagine that they have all these things figured out and that they just have it all together. And their lives might be like that. Maybe that's why Melanie's like number one for many years running. But my life is definitely not like that. And to be totally frank and honest with you guys, 2 hours ago, I was crying for the past hour and a half. And I'm not telling you that because to make you feel sorry for me, but I want you to know we all go through things like that. There's just personal things that are happening, and that's life. That's what it comes down to. But I'm here on this call because these things I'm going to talk about, they're important. They mean a lot to me. And the people in this company mean a lot to me, meaning you guys. And if I did not believe in the purpose and the mission of this company, I wouldn't be here right now. But I know how important it is to show up for people, that I made a commitment, not just to you guys, but to my challengers and to my team and to my coaches, every single day to be the best me possible. And that means that obstacles are going to happen. That means that tough things are going to happen. That means that some days I'm going to be crying because of personal issues not related to business. But I get up and I keep going. That is part of building your business. As part of being an entrepreneur, is showing up even when you're not having the most perfect day in the world, because you believe in your mission and you believe in your purpose. And it goes far beyond a challenge pack sale or a success club point, because that really means nothing. And if I didn't believe in my purpose and my mission, I wouldn't be on this call right now. So I kind of wanted to start with that, just so you know a little bit, like about behind the scenes. And so you see me for a real person, because I want you to understand what I'm about to talk about has built my business. And it's not because I'm special. It is simply because I didn't quit. At leadership, I think my favorite quote I saw, and all it said on the board was, "How did you succeed?" I didn't quit. And if it comes back to one thing, I didn't quit. When it got tough, when it got hard, when I wanted to, I kept going every single day. And that has led to this insane business that I could have never imagined 2.5 years ago when I started coaching. 2.5 years ago when I started coaching, I was kind of lost in life. I was career driven. I had a master's degree. I really wanted to move that career forward. I was doing anything in my power to move that career forward, but it was not. It was at a standstill. I had moved 3 or 4 times for my husband's career. So every few years I would get a new job and my career would kind of come to a restarting place. And so in 2014, I wanted to get fit again. And I just started looking for a program online. I had done Beachbody in the past. Long story short, I found 21 Day Fix. I heard about the coach opportunity. At that same time, I was actually looking to get a part-time job. My husband's a veterinarian. I have a master's degree, so we both have a ton of schooling. And we had, at that time, $245,000 of student loan debt, just student loan debt in 2014. I knew I wanted to have kids, and I'm a long-term planner, which is funny because I'm not a planner and I'm not organized at all, but big picture things I like zone in on. And I'm like, how are we going to do this? And at that point in my life, I'd zoned in on that $245,000 of debt, and it was debilitating. And I didn't know how we were ever going to have kids and how I was ever going to be a stay-at-home mom. And in the midst of all that, how this financial stress that had been put on my marriage was ever going to go away. Because at that point, we were just fighting all the time about money. And I knew that wasn't going to disappear. And so I was looking for a part-time job, trying to get fit, had zero money, found 21 Day Fix. Coach opportunity was presented to me. And I said, put it on my credit card. What's another $160? And I said, I'll just see what happens. My goal was not to pay off my student loan debt. That was like a big fantasy. My goal was to simply be a stay-at-home mom. I wanted to make $50,000 a year so I could be a stay-at-home mom when the time came for us to have kids. And I told myself coming into this that I would work this business diligently for 2 solid years. And I would work it when I came home after my full-time job, and I would work for 2 solid years. And I literally, and I was not joking, I said I would do this for 2 years. And after 2 years, if I didn't have a sale, if I got told no for 2 years straight, I would quit. But I was willing to fail for 2 years because I knew the worst thing that would happen is I'd get in the best shape of my life, which I did. But that commitment and that mindset, and I did not come in thinking that this was going to be easy. I didn't come in thinking it was going to happen quickly. I thought it'd take 2 years to make $50,000 a year. And so that mindset really pushed my business forward. from the get-go. But I need you to know kind of where I started and how this all came to be. So I'm going to walk you guys through my 3 laws of kind of how I build my business. If I look back and I say, what are the 3 things that I really focused on or that helped me build this business? And one is inviting, and I'll get to that. But there are a few things that help push me forward in the beginning. And when I came into this, I'm from a very small town. I grew up in a town of about 500 people. So I'm from a very small town there was tons of shake companies and multi-level marketing organizations that I never, ever, ever, ever wanted to be part of. And I didn't have a lot of self-belief. I went to college to be a teacher. I was a teacher before I got my master's degree. And honestly, I became a teacher because I thought it was obtainable. I thought it was easy and I thought I could do it. I had bigger dreams for myself, but when I was 18 to 23, I didn't think I was capable of doing anything else. I saw teachers, so I was like, I could do that. But I didn't have a lot of self-belief, and my glass ceiling was pretty low at that time. And it was pretty low when I started coaching as well. My biggest fear when I came into this was my social media and my sorority sisters. I was terrified of posting on social media, did not want to do it. I did not post on social media. Like my time hop is like empty every day. It's like nothing from before coaching. Like I never posted on social media. I actually hated being on social media because I was in such a deep state of self-hatred. I didn't want to see anyone else being happy. So why did I want to see other people succeeding in life when I was over here failing miserably? So I wasn't even on it. And my biggest fear were my sorority sisters, because I didn't believe like I was good enough for them. I always felt like the girl who kind of like escaped through the cracks to get into sorority, and like she didn't actually belong there. She wasn't actually supposed to be there. She wasn't good enough. That was my self-esteem 2.5 years ago when I came into this business. And I truly believed like that all of my sorority sisters were going to make fun of me for this business. And this is my law number 1. This leads me to law number 1. Action is the seed to belief. I would still be thinking to this day that I was never good enough to be in the sorority, or that I was never good enough to be friends with these girls, or that all these girls would make fun of me, or that they truly didn't like me, had I not stepped out in faith and started sharing my journey on social media. I would still have these huge walls up about who liked me and who I was, because I thought all these negative things about my sorority sisters and my friends because of my low self-esteem. They didn't dislike me. They did not support me. It was my own personal reflection of myself. I didn't like me. I didn't support me. And I just pushed that onto them. I projected that onto them. However, when I started posting about my journey on social media, when I started sharing my results with 21 Day Fix, who was my biggest market group? All of my sorority sisters. I mean, like all of them. All of them. And it dawned on me at this time that I had built all these walls to keep people out because of my insecurities, because of my fear of what would other people think. I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. All these things I had told myself for years and years and years that I didn't even realize I was telling myself because they were so deeply rooted in what I believed to be the truth. And when these girls started trickling in one by one and asking me for help on their fitness journey, I realized it wasn't them, it was me. It wasn't them, it was me. I would have never believed anybody if they would have told me that was going to be my truth. I would have never believed it had I not done it. Sometimes you just have to do these things. You have to post on social media. You have to share from your heart. You have to invite the people that scare you the most, because you're not going to believe it if Laura tells you it's going to be okay. You're not going to believe it if Laura says it's going to work out well. They're going to trust you. They're going to say yes at some point. You're not going to believe it until you do it for yourself. So you have to do a trust fall. You do not come into this business with belief. You don't. I know people are like, you have to believe in yourself. Nope, you don't. You just have to do it. And in doing it, you will build the belief. I think we hear it backwards so often, but you just have to take action and build the belief on your way. Another example I like to use this with is the 5-step invitation process. I hope you guys all know what that is, the 5-step invitation process. This was one of the first things. I came into this business and I started doing what my upline coach told me to do. My upline coach is very successful. And I said, okay, I'll just do whatever she tells me to do for 2 years. And I took the New Coach Basics training and I got to that lesson about inviting. And it had the 5-step invitation process. And before getting to this, I truly thought I just needed to send people my link and they were going to sign up. I was like, that's it. Like I'll just send them my link really quick. And then I get to this 5-step invitation process and it said, ask them about their goals. I'll never forget watching that video in the back office. I don't remember who was in it. And it was like, he's having that conversation. He's like, so what are your health and fitness goals? I'm like, I'm not asking anybody that. That is so salesy. Like, there's no way people are going to think I'm so weird if I ask them that question. And I called Jessica, my coach, and I said, do you actually follow the 5-step invitation process? Like, I said, do you really follow it? Like, for real, you have that conversation with people? And she said, yep, I do. I put my own spin on it, but I follow that process every single time. And that day in my car, I'll never forget it. I made a commitment to myself to do the trust fall. And I said, okay, I don't believe this works. I don't believe coaches change lives, which I'll talk about that in a minute, but I'll do it anyways, because just being kind of smart, I was like, okay, here's Jessica's way. She's built $2 million business centers. And then here's my way of, I have no idea. So I could go on my way or Jessica's way. So I was like, all right, I'll just do what Jessica says. If she said she used it, I'll use it. So I started using the 5-step invitation process, and I do not stray from that. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. And when I started having conversations with people, it changed, and my belief in this business changed. In my uplines team page, when I started, there was always that blue Coaches Change Lives sticker, or image that always gets posted. And I'll never forget, as a new coach, I would see that image and I would just roll my eyes. Like, I was like, this is so stupid. You are not changing anyone's life with a DVD workout program. Come on. Like, you guys, get off your high horse. We're not changing anyone's lives here. I was so skeptical about this business when I started. And I would roll my eyes every time I saw that photo for at least the first 30 days. And I'm like, no way. These people actually think they're changing somebody's life. They're not changing anyone's life. It's just 5 pounds. Like, it's not a big deal, people. Whatever. Because I didn't get it. I didn't know what I was doing yet. I hadn't done it. And so for the longest time, I'd roll my eyes at that picture. And fast forward about, I want to say it was 45 days in, and I get a phone call from one of my sorority sisters, who was also one of my very first challengers as a new coach. And it was 7 a.m. on a Saturday, and she called me. I didn't even know she had my phone number still. And I saw her name, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's mad at me. I bet her Shakeology shipped, and she is livid. She's calling to yell at me about her Shakeology at 7 a.m. on a Saturday. Oh my gosh, she's so angry. So I picked up the phone. It's like, hello, what's wrong? And she said, Ruth, I just had to call you and tell you thank you. I just took my after measurements and my after photos, and I just have to say thank you, because this program and the challenge group you have been running has changed everything about my life. She said, I go into my job as a different person with more confidence. She said, when I'm out in social situations with my girlfriends, I feel better. I hold my head higher. It's impacted my relationship with my fiance in such a positive way, because I feel good. I feel like I look good. I feel like I feel good. And that makes me a totally different person to be around. Thank you for introducing me to this. Thank you for running this group. You have changed my life. I went and found that sticker as quickly as I could, and I put it in our team page, and I was like, Coaches Change Lives. Yes. But I would have never in my life believed that that was possible, or that I would have that impact on people when I started as a coach. Action is the seed to belief. If there are things in this business, this is my challenge to each and every one of you, because we all do this about whatever level of our business that we're in. We all look at trainings from whoever it is. We all hear scripts or see scripts or hear things that people do, and we tell ourselves that we can't do it for some reason. We're like, well, that's Melanie Mitro's training, so like I can't do that. I'm not good enough. Well, that's the 5-step invitation process. Like no one actually does that. We all say these things. So I challenge you, no matter where you're at in your business, no matter if you're leading a team and there's something you're not doing with your team yet because you don't believe you're capable or you don't believe you're there yet, or if you're a new coach and you haven't shared your transformation or you haven't shared your journey as a coach or you haven't invited to the business, I challenge you to take that step tonight, to take that step and act instead of believing. And I promise you, if you continue to do it, you will build the belief. But the belief does not come until you do it. So that is your first challenge. My second law that I live by in my business is to build your business on your purpose. So it took me a while to realize this is what this business was about. And it kind of evolved over time from a new coach and participating in my challenge groups and seeing women change. But I want to ask you guys, what is the one word that describes every single thing that you do in your business? If I said, what is the one underlying word that pulses throughout every area of your business, your social media posts, your invites, your team leadership, whatever it is, what is the one word that pushes you to do that? For me, that word is empower, and it took me a while to get there. It was an evolution. I didn't know I was coming into this business. Like I said, I just thought I was selling some stuff. But my word is to empower, and that has become the platform for my purpose and my mission in this business. I don't wake up in the morning to sell Beachbody programs. That's not why. I didn't get on this team call to help you sell a Beachbody program. And Lord knows I'm obviously not selling you a Beachbody program right now because you're all coaches. That's not why I'm here. But my purpose and my mission in life is to empower people. And that is the one thing that goes into every facet of my business, every social media post, every post I put in my team page, every team call I do. It is to empower and inspire someone else to take action in their life. But you have to find that word, that one word that is going to penetrate throughout your entire business. And it has to mean something to you. It might not be empower. Maybe you are like a clean eating freak and that is your thing. And you love to like pick into all the clean eating stuff. And really that's your thing. Or maybe you're a yoga person. I don't know. There are many different avenues you can take with your purpose in this business. But the important thing is that you find it, because whether you realize it or not, Beachbody doesn't need us to sell their programs. Beachbody does not need you and I to sell their programs. That's not what we're here to do. And if you think we're here to sell a program, you're not going to find nearly as much joy and power and purpose in this business. And it might remain stagnant for a long time. Beachbody, they have their websites, they have the infomercials, they're selling a lot of programs without us. What Beachbody needs us to do is help people get results. They need us to help people believe in themselves. They need us to help people learn how to stick to the process and to trust the process and to go through the process. They need us to help people. That's what we do as coaches, but we all do it for our own purpose and our own mission, and you have to find yours. I was talking to a very good college friend of mine who I had initially talked to coaching about way back when I first started. I was just a new coach, and she called me up this year and she said, I finally get what you're doing as a coach. She said, I've been watching you for 2 years and I get it. She goes, you're not selling Beachbody stuff, are you? I was like, no, I'm really not selling anything except for my purpose, my mission. She goes, yeah, you get online every day and you talk about the stuff that everyone needs to hear, the stuff that I need to hear. You share these stories that make me feel something and that make me want to do and be and see more of myself in life. You make me want to take control of my own life. And she said to me, she goes, you're using Beachbody, aren't you? And I said, yeah, I'm using Beachbody. Beachbody is my tool to build my business. I use Beachbody, not the other way around. I use Beachbody to build my platform, to build my purpose, and to drive my mission forward. So I encourage all of you to find your own purpose. Think about the one word that is going to drive you forward, that's going to keep you inviting or showing up every single day, even when you don't want to, even when it's easier to lay in bed, whatever that is, what is that one word that's going to create that platform and passion for you? I also use that one word with my social media posts. Whenever I know posting on social media is so hard for me, and I get caught up in my head and I overthink things, and I really have to let things go. And sometimes I have to do a check. So I like to give you guys tangible tips too, because I'm very theories based. So something that helped me, besides just knowing my platform and my passion, was that number one is I don't type my Facebook post on Facebook. I go to my email, which is super weird, but you could use Drive or Evernote as well. And I sit there and I go on that platform and I type my posts and I just pretend like I'm talking to a friend. And I forget that I'm speaking to the entire Facebook world. And I just think about that one person, and I try and really think about who I was before all this, where I was physically, mentally, emotionally, and talk to that girl. But sometimes, we talk to that customer or that potential customer, and they say something and it just kind of sticks in. You're like, man, I really wish I could preach to them like this, but I've got to soften it up a little bit. And then I make my post to my entire social media world, but it's based on that one person and what I really, really think that they need to hear and that they need to see. And I let it go there. And I speak to that individual specifically, kind of open-heartedly, like, here are my thoughts. And I always leave it with this though. Am I being real? Am I being honest? Am I being me? Because if I can say yes to those three questions, it doesn't matter what anyone on social media or anyone else in the world thinks about my post. As long as I am being honest, real, and me, nobody can say a word to me that can bring me down, because I will stand behind it and I will back it until the day I die if it's my truth. So as long as I'm posting my truth, it doesn't matter what anyone else has to say. All right, and my law number 3, people before products always. And this is where we'll get into the inviting a little bit more. I see the time is counting down. People before products always, and this is very interesting since you just heard me say, I thought I just signed up to sell some Beachbody programs. You can see how much my belief has changed and the depth of what I believe we're doing as coaches. People before products always. So I want you to ask yourself, what are you thinking about when you're inviting? What are you thinking about when you are inviting people to your challenge groups or to the coach opportunity? What are you thinking in your head? Are you thinking, oh my gosh, I have to make Success Club. I have 5 more days. I need to make Success Club to get that shirt or whatever it is that we're getting. Are you thinking, oh my goodness, this is $40 from a commission. I really need this. Are you thinking, this will be my, this will put me on the leaderboard this week? Or are you thinking about the person that you used to be? Are you thinking, this woman is going to benefit from our programs because of X, Y, and Z? I can't wait for this girl to lose the 100-pound goal she has. I just talked to someone last week and I'm super stoked for her to hear her goal is to lose 100 pounds. That makes me so excited for her that she has that ambitious, awesome goal. She wants to change her life so stinking much. And I get to offer what we have to be part of that. That I know she's not going to go to 24-hour fitness and be forgot about on a treadmill. That I know she's not going to go pay some trainer hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars who isn't even going to teach her how to eat in the end. And she's going to be reliant and dependent upon that person. But I know what I'm offering her in my groups is going to help her get to that goal. I get excited for people. What do you think about when you're offering these things to people? What are your thoughts? And I hope, we talked about this at leadership too, and I loved it. And they said, go back to where you were the first time you lost your first 5 pounds, or you got into those skinny pants, or you walked into your job with your head a little more high, or you put on that dress for your date night out with your husband, or you posted that picture on social media where you felt beautiful. That's what I want you to think about when you have conversations with people. That's what I want you to hold in your heart when you're speaking to them, and know the gift you are offering to them. because we're not selling them a Beachbody program. We're giving them a gift that will impact their life and many others if we do our jobs as coaches. In terms of tangible takeaways, in terms of inviting, I always ask their goals, and I don't stop at just their goals. And I want to tell you guys this story because it was so profound. When people, if I make a call to action or if I message someone about a challenge group, they'll message me back, yes, I'm interested. How much is the program? And I do not ever go in to say, well, the program is $160 and you get this and this and this and this, and here's what it entails. They don't get that. They get, awesome, I'm pumped to tell you about it. What are your goals? What are your goals? But more importantly, why? Why do you want to reach those goals? And last month it was I asked a girl this question and she messaged me back. She said, it took me a day. She goes, sorry, it took me a day to think about that. I really had to think about why. Why did I care about losing this weight? She said, I want to have babies. I want to have babies soon. How cool is that? That's what we're going to help people do. Like, call me the baby maker. That's what we're going to help people do. Like, that is super cool. But you don't know the deep down reason, the impact that you get to have on someone's life until you ask them. So it always has to start with people. Like, what does that person want in life? Why are they contacting you, or why have you reached out to them, and how are you going to help them reach that goal? From there, obviously, I use this 5-step invitation process, and I ask those questions in terms of, what are your habits like now? How are you eating? What is your workout like? And then after I discover those things, I decide on the program that I think will work best for them. I do not waver ever, and I don't ever give them options. One reason is because I've done every program that has come out since 2014, July, and I know the programs, and I feel confident telling someone exactly what they need to do. And so when they come to me, and after I go through these questions and get to know them, I'm going to tell them, you need to do this because you told me X, Y, and Z, and this is going to help X, Y, and Z come true, and here's why. And then I tell them about the program. But not until I know so much more about their life and their needs and their current situation. And that's it. I know that sounds kind of super easy, but that's it. But it always starts with the people. And I'm never thinking about those 2 points. And Bonnie Engel said something about this in the wall. And she said, what did those 2 points mean to you? When you signed up as a coach, what did those 2 points mean to you in your life? I was Jessica's 2 points. But who cares about the 2 points I gave Jessica? Because me giving myself those 2 points is the best gift I could have ever given myself. Like, the girl I was then is not the girl I am now. And here is the thing, you guys, is that it doesn't just stop at me. When I signed up, I didn't know what I was getting into. At the time, I was insecure. I was guarded. That caused me to be judgmental, catty, gossipy, rude to people, because those were my walls. If I had those walls up, then no one could get into me, and I was always safe. But because of this fitness program, it's changed who I am as a person, which then changes how I impact everyone else I meet from here on out. But more than that, when I have kids, I'm not even going to be the same type of mom that I would have been 2 years ago. That impact is huge. It doesn't stop at that one person that you're talking to. It doesn't stop with that challenger. So I want you to think the next time that you're inviting, I want you to think about what this means to their life. And I want you to think about what impact it will have. Because out there somewhere is a 35-year-old dad who comes home every day after eating McDonald's for breakfast and lunch. He's 100 pounds overweight. He has zero energy. And when he comes home at 4 o'clock, he sends his kids to the neighbor's house because he is too tired to put up with them. He doesn't have the energy. He doesn't know his kids anymore. He can't hang out with his kids because they have too much energy and he can't keep up with them. That is the person whose life you get to change. There's a 21-year-old girl out there who weighs 110 pounds, and she looks at herself in the mirror every day, calls herself disgusting and fat and ugly. And she restricts herself from eating. And then when she finally allows herself to give in and have some food, she eats as much of it as she can and she binges. And then she goes back into the cycle of feeling guilty and disgusting and fat. And it continues and continues and continues. There's a 40-year-old mom whose Facebook profile right now has 0 pictures on it of her. She has 3 kids and a husband, and that's all you ever see because she's ashamed of who she has become and what she looks like. The intimacy is gone in her marriage. She doesn't want her husband to touch her. She doesn't want her photo on Facebook or anywhere. These are the people whose lives we get to change. These are all real stories, you guys. These are all real people, and I could go on, but I see I'm running out of time. That's what I want you to embrace and think about every time you talk to somebody, and know that you get the chance and you have the gift to give them to change their life in your conversations and in your challenge groups. And that's what we get to do here. I'm sorry, I'm done.
Don't apologize. I'm sorry that I have the cheapo Zoom version because we never use it. So I mean, girl, look at this. I love it. I love it. I love your 3 laws. Just to remind you guys, she was talking about you have to take action in order to believe. Sometimes if you're not motivated, if you don't believe, action will spur that on. Wonderful. She was talking about finding your platform using, I thought it was brilliant the way that you were like, Beachbody doesn't use me. I use Beachbody. Like, this is an opportunity for me to know myself, know my person, and use Beachbody as an avenue to reach my life purpose. Perfect. And the third thing is obviously people before products and asking them about themselves, learning about them, knowing that, yes, you are going to get 2 points from them. Yes, you're going to get commission from them. But, I mean, learning about them and knowing that you can be a catalyst to spur somebody in the right direction in their life is powerful. And I don't want us to be fearful of having that much power, because it really is. Like, you have that much opportunity in your hands to really be a catalyst in somebody's life. So I don't want you guys to shy away from that. I want you to take ownership of it and just say, I'm going to lead by example. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to talk to these people and be friendly. Thank you so much, Ruth. This was spot on. I took so many notes. This refreshed my heart. Just reminded me, like, we're doing the right thing. You know, like, we infiltrate this same theme throughout our team. So Moxie's, again, I hope that you guys took notes. The thread right here saying she's so empowering. Wow, thank you. I needed this. God knew I needed to be here. I love this. So